Hey, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Jared.
And we're here to talk about Dragon Ball
Z.
Alright. And we're jumping into the second half of the Namek Saga. We're here to talk about episode 59 through 63 are mostly filler. So Bulma gets kidnapped. Gohan gets his power unlocked. That's canon.
Yeah. For me, it's 61 is kind of where we're going to start. The last two episodes before this are basically filler. There might be some information, but it's Dragon Ball Z. They repeat things constantly, so I would say 61. But anyway, Vegeta sets his Krillin and Gohan, basically goes out there to Krillin distracts Vegeta so that Gohan can go to the Elder Namek so he can get his power unlocked. They expect Gohan to have even more power, which he does. And then they can now feel the Ginyu Force coming. So now they're in a rush to get these Dragon Balls together and make a wish of some sort. But it doesn't matter because the Ginyu Force gets there. I also put they do their first pose together, which Frieza, depending on the dub version, I think it's a little bit different. But Frieza seems, I wouldn't say, Frieza hired these people, but he also seems very annoyed that they do their poses and stuff, but he also calls them his greatest task force, so.
The Ginyu thing, I don't know, it seems like some weird boy band military version of, it's such a weird character that's supposed to be campy, but then we're supposed to be intimidated by him too.
I could be wrong, and I think there's I think back then there's this a Japanese culture thing, because look at Saiyaman, how they do the poses, and even now with the Gammas, they do poses. I think that if there was a movie version of Dragon Ball, that general audiences would love the Ginyu Force. I think that they are just campy, weird characters that I think people would really enjoy because of the dancing, along with the fact that they almost all of them have some sort of unique technique or something that makes them weird.
But they're never
different.
Threatening.
I think also the thing I'll say about the Ginyu Force, even besides that, is I think the designs are definitely improved. I think Zarbon and Dodoria are fine, but then more basic designs. I feel like I like most of the Ginyu Force, how they and also the way they do stack. I like that when they have they're together. It's kind of he on purpose made one character so small and then slowly went up the roster and
Episode 63 is Guldo versus Vegeta. So I like the way Guldo's powers unveiled because it finally this thing we were talking about, which is if they're killing every person on Namek and they're more powerful, whatever, why not just destroy the Dragon Ball and recreate them later, whatever? Yeah. Krillin tries to do that. That's his realization,
and
right? And then
this is gone.
Guldo freezes time.
Guldo, for whatever reason, I don't know if this is canon, if this is anime, hates Vegeta. Hates him. They hate each other. And they even kind of mock him at one point when he can't beat Gohan and Krillin. They're like, we'll replace you if you can't beat these two. And so he finally gets more serious where he makes those trees and basically he's going to destroy them. Also, I'm a little confused. How can a power ball hit you? Pure energy hit you and you're fine. But then a tree, I understand it's sharp. I'm not saying, but
yeah, who did this guy ever beat in a fight though? He can freeze time. He can use telekinesis. Can't hold his breath for more than 5 seconds. So
I was gonna say,
what use is
I was gonna say there was a joke in there. This is probably just the dub I watched, but he's something about my corn dog diet isn't working for me. It's why is this guy not in good shape? Because this guy actually took his job more seriously. Did breathing exercises and knew how to hold his breath for longer. He would be a super dangerous foe, and not basically gonna skewer them until Vegeta's I need them, and then he just knocks he just knocks him out of the sky and just cuts his head off. It's over in a second. It's not even a contest. It's just over.
Yeah. Well, it is. So I think that's interesting because you see the Ginyu Force, which is a very strong alliance or special task force, whatever they are, and that causes Vegeta to ally with Gohan and Krillin, which we didn't really ever see. I mean, he spared their lives, but it wasn't an alliance. Now it's truly an alliance. Well, next up, Recoome, the tank of the army, shows up. I think he's the last bad guy to shout his own name until Boo.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, Raccoon is he's fun. I mean, I think Nappa's a little bit more fun. Very, very similar. There's bulky characters that get their clothes blown off. Vegeta starts very strong. He starts strong, but then Raccoon starts hitting him back, and it's just him getting the crappy out of him. Which once again, I don't understand. I always want to talk to Vegeta at this point when I want to say, when did you think you're gonna beat Frieza when you're having trouble with Raccoon? I'm sorry. And then especially when Goku comes, it destroys him. It's why did you ever think you could do anything?
But there is an interesting point here because Gohan and Krillin do an attack to save Vegeta.
Yes, I put that in my notes.
And Vegeta's pissed about it because he's well, don't worry about me. You should have prioritized.
And my notes is right after that, Raccoon knocks Krillin out one hit. Basically one hit Krillin's out. The fight's pretty fun. It's a normal thing. Like it's just like one of them dominates the other one. Vegeta's dominating Raccoon, then Raccoon dominates him. He slams him on the ground, and then like as he pulls him up, Vegeta blasts him in the face and stuff like that. And like so now we're at 65, which is like just Gohan's the last fire, which also like. I mean, Gohan, it's the whole thing about like how the Saiyan power level thing, because Gohan gets very weak in here, which means when he should be pretty powered up after this fight, because he gets the crappy out of him, and then he already had a power up, so he must be insanely powerful in comparison to where he used to be on Earth. Like Krillin is also stronger, but Gohan at this point should be actually pretty. Which I guess to be fair, in later episodes he does hold his own at least for a second against like some very tough fights. His neck is basically broken and everything,
Crazy.
and like
that's what they say. His neck
is broken. Like, it's insane. He gets beat. He's just at death's door basically. Goku even like comments in his head.
Meanwhile, the two Stooges, Frieza and Ginyu, gather the Dragon Balls and realize they don't know their password.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So, and they ask each other if do you feel immortal yet?
Yeah.
No, do you? It's like Beavis and Butthead or something. The dumbest Frieza looks in the whole
You can't get it up? You can't get the dragon up?
Yeah. And Ginyu is like some weird suck-up character, right? Like the way he talks to Frieza, Master for Lord Frieza.
And they're all suck-ups. They're all suck-ups. Yeah. Well, also, and depending on the dub, but I think most dubs still have them, the person doing Captain Genyu's voice is also the narrator for the Dragon Ball show back in the day, which is a fun thing that he used to do that, and now he gets to do Ginyu in the later canon. So let's make everyone wait for the next episode to talk about Goku.
But he does arrive at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
so we know Goku has just landed, but we don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So I hope it's good.
All right. Do you want to ask some questions to the audience?
Okay, well, who's your favorite Ginyu Force member? I would say I really liked Berta back in the day, but watching it now, I don't know. It sucks that he's like, I'm the fastest guy in the galaxy, and you're like, you're looking for Frieza. Like, what are you talking about? But he's a fun design. I like him and Jace doing the stuff later on together.
Yeah. So which one's your favorite? Let us know, and we'll cover the second half of the Ginyus next.